good night's sleep. Oh, hey guys. If you want some tips on how to get a good night's sleep too, keep watching. Hi friends, this is Dr. Mohammed Qureshi, aka the Mind Doc. Welcome to my second video. Now I wager all of you watching this video without exception have had some problem with your sleep at some stage during your life. Research suggests that up to 2/3 of people struggle with their sleep, and I see it all the time in my clinics, day to day, that people struggle with their sleep. They either struggle getting off to sleep, struggle staying asleep, or they feel tired throughout the day, which indicates that they're not getting good quality sleep. Poor sleep really is of epidemic proportions at the moment, and insomnia can have catastrophic effects on your functioning, on your productivity, and on your mental well-being. And it can also be a factor in the development of conditions such as heart disease, dementia, and depression as well. Conversely, good sleep can be really important for your physical and mental health. It can help to boost your immune system, it helps build muscle, it helps regulate your metabolism, and really sleep is not an optional luxury, it's a biological necessity. I myself have had problems with my sleep in the past, and literally it was like a nightmare, pun intended. What I've devised in this video are 9 steps to help assist with your sleep that have benefited me, and they've also benefited my patients. So if that sounds interesting, let's get cracking. So the first tip pertains to beverages. So we all know that coffee and tea, they contain a very high caffeine content, and caffeine, like nicotine and cigarettes, is a stimulant. So you don't want to have stimulants too close to your bedtime. When it comes to caffeine, caffeine has an onset of action up to 6 hours. So you really don't want to consume coffee within sort of 6 hours of your bedtime. So stop drinking coffee by about 5 or 6 p.m. if you can. Another point on beverages, don't drink too much water or fluids before you go to bed, because if you do that, then you're going to wake up in the middle of the night needing the toilet. That's obviously going to interrupt your sleep. It's going to make you struggle to get back to bed. So try and limit that intake of oral fluid before bedtime. And another strategy is to drink a warm glass of milk before bed, because milk doesn't have any caffeine in it and it can be quite soothing and it can help to stimulate your sleep. The second tip that I'm going to give you is to have a wind down routine before you go to bed. So maybe an hour and a half before bed, start with this routine that your brain learns to associate with sleep. And therefore, once you start doing these things, your brain will automatically get into the mode of getting ready for sleep. So whatever that routine may be, whether it be having a hot shower, brushing your teeth, washing your face, reading a book, whatever that routine may be, just be consistent with it, and that will really help you with your sleep. The third tip that I'm going to give you, it's a really crucial tip, is to maintain regularity when it comes to your sleep. So the sleep-wake cycle, or the circadian rhythm, is really optimized by regularity. What that means is you need to make sure you sleep the same amount of time every day. Make sure that you go to sleep at the same time and you wake up at the same time, regardless of whether it's a weekend or a weekday. Basically, how the sleep cycle works is that you have shallow and you have deeper sleep, and you basically fluctuate between these two states throughout the course of the night. Now, this cycle of shallow to deep sleep, you need around 4 or 5 of these cycles, and each of these cycles takes 1 to 1.5 hours. So as a result of that, you need at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep to feel refreshed in the mornings. And also you need to remember to try not to nap during the course of the day, because that can really affect your sleep-wake cycle. It can cause a bit of dysregulation with that sleep-wake cycle. So it's important to try and resist from taking naps during the course of the day. Tip number 4, which is another really important one, is you need to try and be relaxed before you go to sleep. And you can kind of broadly split this into 2 parts. One is to make sure that you do relaxing activities before you go to bed. And the second one is abstaining from things that are a bit too stimulating just prior to bed. So one of the relaxing things that you can do before bedtime is you can listen to white noise. So usually, when it comes to nighttime, and you're in bed, laying in bed, and there's a lot of thoughts going around and circulating in your mind, it can be quite chaotic, and actually having white noise in the background can help to clear your mind, and so that's very relaxing for an individual. Other things that you can do is have scented candles, you can apply oils. When it comes to doing things that are not too stimulating before bedtime, I'm referring to things like having intense discussions with your partner or family members, or watching things like horror movies. These things are a little bit too stimulating for late night, And so I'd urge you to resist doing that, even though you might argue that certain horror movies are better to watch at night. So the fifth tip I'm going to give you is to try and have a peaceful sleep environment. And what I mean by that is making sure that the lighting is dimmed, making sure that you have a comfortable mattress, comfortable pillows, and also, very importantly, you have to make sure that the house or flat is at the right temperature to stimulate sleep. And research suggests that the right temperature is around 18 to 19 degrees Celsius, because what needs to happen for you to go to sleep is that your body needs to drop its temperature slightly. The sixth point, which I can be accused of being guilty of at times, is to try to limit your phone use before you go to bed. So both phones and laptops emit something called blue light. Now, when blue light hits the back of your eye, it can reduce the levels in your body of a hormone called melatonin. And melatonin is a hormone that actually stimulates your sleep. So if the levels are obviously reduced, that can negatively impact your sleep. A lot of new phones are equipped with blue light filters, which you can just whack on at night time before you go to bed if you need to use your phone, that is. And that can reduce your exposure to that blue light, which will help promote your sleep. So the seventh tip I'm going to give you is to use your bed for sleep only, and also things related to your sleep. So whether that be 10-15 minutes of light bedtime reading, things that your brain has associated with sleep, only use your bed for that. So things to avoid are, for example, ringing friends or family from the comfort of your bed, doing schoolwork, doing work related to your job from the bed, sending out emails, things of that nature. Try not to do it, because then your mind loses that association of the bed with sleep. So the eighth point I'm going to give you is that if you can't get off to sleep, then don't fight it. So if you're in bed for half an hour to an hour and you're just struggling to get off to sleep, then just take yourself away from the bedroom and the bed. Just go for a little walk around your flat or house, or just do a little bit of light reading, for example, and just distract yourself. And then once you feel sleepy again, then go back to bed and give it another go. And a point related to this is that if you're struggling with your sleep, then try not to look at the time in the middle of the night, because what that can do, if it's like 2-3 a.m, you look at the time and you think, oh man, I've got to go to work in a few hours time, I've got to go to school in a few hours time. That can increase your stress levels, can increase your adrenaline, which increases your heart rate and blood pressure. And these are a recipe for disaster when it comes to sleep. You're not going to be able to get back off to sleep if you're stressed out. So try to avoid looking at the clock if you wake up in the middle of the night. The ninth point I'm going to give you is the importance of exercise. So lots of research suggests that exercise done during the course of the day can really help to promote good quality and a good duration of sleep as well. But another point on that is to make sure you don't exercise too close to your bedtime, because if you exercise within a few hours of going to bed, what that does is it raises your body temperature, it raises your heart rate, and these things act against sleep. And so it's better not to exercise too close to your bedtime. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up down below. Comment down below with what videos you might like to see in the future, and subscribe to my channel. Sweet dreams.